and my primary concern, to be honest, is been animal cruelty. I think that is what really moved me to becoming a vegan than any other reason. I didn't do it for my health. I did it for the animals. I'm able to move people away from animal products. I think then I would feel I've been successful. I want to.
Actually, it is like green is for trees, blue is for ocean and seas, and orange is for the animals, right?
Wildlife, yeah, wildlife.
Hi friends, welcome to Change Started, to our series Change Trails. All of us love our food and all of us need food. However, there is one fact about food which is extremely disturbing. As per research, our food system is responsible for more than 25% global carbon emissions, which is huge. Therefore, we need solutions. And today we are going to speak about one such solution with Kunal Mutha. He is the co-founder of The Only Earth, which makes plant-based milk in India. Welcome, Kunal.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about your journey before you started The Only Earth.
Yep. So I've been basically the journey has been not too long. I've been vegan for last close to about 3 years, and I was, prior to that, I was into packaging business. I mean, as an entrepreneur, I started my career in about 2013. That's when the packaging stint started. I was into flexible packaging, so that was a 6-year business which I scaled up, and then we exited to a multinational who acquired us. And since then, I had some time to focus on my health, nutrition, and also I got hooked to doing triathlons. I completed about 3 Ironmans around that time. So I think since one of my business went away, so I was looking for a new opportunity. I looked around a lot of areas like automobile, aerospace, IT as well for digital transformation, and then I stumbled upon plant-based industry. And so I would thank myself for choosing a vegan lifestyle, which gave me this opportunity to only then I could really see an opportunity in this space. So it's been. I mean, we got this around COVID. It was quite a tricky situation to start a business. I think you won't believe we've almost since we launched, we've been it's been about 10 months in the market. We've been have placed our products, and till last month I haven't met my suppliers. Although I've been sourcing my products, I think it's all been on Zoom. Literally, I've recruited on Zoom. I have finalized my ingredients on Zoom. I think everything, it's been a Zoom business literally. And now finally things are opening up. So being able to travel and meet the suppliers and also focus the future with them and build the relationship. So it's been quite an interesting journey and a very interesting time. COVID also has given some shape to this industry, I would be honest, because people have started to focus on their health. They're concerned about environment. So there's lots happening after COVID, which is the industry is having a good tailwind to take it forward.
You are also a COVID baby, right? So a lot of businesses started around the same time. So Kunal, I mean, before we step on, so what were you doing that you spotted this opportunity? I mean, you could have gone in for a food business or a lifestyle business. What made you choose? What problem did you see that you went in for plant-based milk only and not for something else?
So the problem with the food, the food itself is a problem for all the issues we've got around. When you started the conversation, you said the emissions, 25% emissions are huge. The health issues today we've got around us with so many lifestyle diseases is a major problem. And so I was concerned about that. And my primary concern, to be honest, is been animal cruelty. I think that is what really moved me to becoming a vegan than any other reason. I didn't do it for my health. I did it for the animals. I'm a Jain. The first principle which Mahavira thought was ahimsa, so non-violence. So I think that's been like a value system for me and my family. So that's at the core of everything. And when I learned more about animal agriculture industry, uh, it's crazy, right? I think I get shivers when I see those videos, how innocent animals are slaughtered at young age. They don't deserve that. So that's why I became a vegan, and that's where I saw an opportunity that uh, on a long term, if I'm able to move people away from animal products, I think then I would feel I've been successful. I want to save some animals, I think, out of that cruelty. I think there are crazy numbers out there, the number of animals slaughtered. So I'm trying to do my bit to move them out of the hell they're living in.
I mean, you are into milk segment or the plant-based milk segment, right? So we can understand that if you are in the food business, then obviously you are stopping animal culling and animal being killed. But milk is a segment which is a dairy segment, which you are just extracting something out of a animal, right? Generally, I mean, it's cows. So just for an audience, I mean, you have to tell us, or you have to get into details, what is the major impact in the milk segment or the dairy segment. So just so that audience also kind of know the problem which the dairy industry faces, right?
So dairy, see, it's a great industry for our economy, for the farmers. But if you see on the other side of it, unfortunately, I've got friends in dairy. I've got a friend who has a huge dairy farm. So what traditionally we've been given and what is given now, I mean, now it's looked from the business angle. So if you see 80% of the antibiotics which are produced globally goes into animal agriculture industry. 80% of our farmlands are dedicated to for the crops, which goes again into the animal industry. So it's a very uneven balance. And if you see the cruelty, a lot of people think those videos are more relevant to more automated animal agriculture farming abroad. In India it doesn't happen, but that's not true. I mean, if you speak to farmers, if you milk only comes out of any mammal when they're pregnant. So they are impregnated again and again and again and again till they're exhausted and they stop giving milk, and then they're sent to slaughterhouse again. If you put a business angle to it, it's good for nothing, right? The cows are good for nothing, so they're sent to slaughterhouse. They get a value out of it. Similarly, I think when a cow gives birth, if it's a male calf, it's again a good for nothing product, right? It can't do anything. The farmers wouldn't feed it, so they either leave it on the road for it to starve and die on its own, or they send it to slaughterhouses to get some value out of it. So this is the cruelty. I mean, if like a lot of people feel that they're only having the milk, but their portion of meat is either exported or somebody else is having it. So you're part of that chain. It's easy to say that I'm not eating meat, and so I'm not part of the cruelty, but you're part of that whole chain. I mean, if you don't, I mean, how I turned vegan for the same reason, because I didn't want to be part of that cruelty. So that's how it's everything's linked around, meat, dairy. If you speak to understand where the supply of these slaughterhouses comes, I think dairy is a big source of these cows going in for slaughterhouses. So yeah, I think it's an individual's choice. I think for me, the cruelty was something very sensitive to me, so I moved out.
Yeah, I think, and in addition, Kunal, I think there are things like emissions. So there is, it's especially in US. I mean, I don't know about India, but in US, there's a lot of methane emission which is emitted from the cows and the dairy industry. And then there is a problem of feeding those animals. So for that, you need a lot of crops and agriculture land to be cultivated to feed those cows, right? So all these adds up. So it's becomes a major problem, and that's why we need to make a change, right? Anything we want to add?
No, so you're very right. Emissions is one of the biggest problems, and cow, if you see, is one of the most inefficient animal. When I say inefficient, I think it needs more to produce whatever it produces. So, as per a couple of studies, I think you can find it on Google. I think 1 liter of milk requires about 600 liters of water. So that's the inefficiency I'm talking about. Similarly, when you compare plant-based milk, I think, for example, oat milk requires only 50 liters of water to produce 1 liter of oat milk. So that's the change. So, it requires a huge amount of resources, the kind of feed you require, the antibiotics which goes into it, the hormonal antibiotics, and also I think all of this and the methane emissions, as you rightly said, it's a big issue. Methane is one of the most deadliest greenhouse gases, much more harmful than CO2, and unfortunately, I think cows produce them a lot, either through burps or farts. So it's a natural process. So the problem is not the cow. The problem is the number of cows. The number of cows, because they've grown all over this. We have because of the animal agriculture industry. I think we have the population is so huge. When you compare it to the number of humans, we are nothing in front of them. So that's the issue.
Absolutely. So good. So coming back to the Only Earth. So when did you make that start? You said you are a COVID baby. So was it 2020 or 2021? So what's
2021? 2021 is when we launched. I think 2020 was when we were ideating, on this business, and yeah. So 2021 June is when we launched it.
So I want to ask you more about specifics about how did you went about the process of identifying that this is the milk which you want to generate, and what was that first product which you launched?
So I think we wanted to have a whole basket of plant-based milks for the consumers. So it depends on every consumer, right? I think if you speak to people who drink plant-based milk, they will either have a choice. They will say, I drink only soy milk because they are after protein or it's affordable. A lot of people drink almond milk because of the calorie. It's low in calorie.
Yeah.
Oat milk is again very neutral. People who just want a good option which is taste neutral. You add it to your beverage. It doesn't really overpower the drink. So people go for oat milk. So and coconut milk again is a very new category. Our coconut milk has 40% coconut water. It's very hydrating. It's good for the smoothies and hot beverages as well. So what we are doing is we are going to give a basket of options to our consumers and for them to make a choice because everybody has got a different taste profile and they can choose from what it is. So we have started with beverages. We are going to be expanding into various other categories so that it's easy for people to make a switch.
So what was the first product did you launch? Was it oat milk?
We launched oat and coconut milk. I think these are the two SKUs. And then we have also launched, we are in process of launching almond milk. We have just completed some plant trials. So by July is when we are launching our almond milk as well. So yeah, I think we're going to have quite a few SKUs and the flavored milks are also coming in. So yeah, I think beverage is going to be our most important category and focus. We are just not, India is one of the most important market, but we are also looking at alternative markets around the globe where we will be exporting the product as well.
Okay, cool. So all the best for that. So Kunal, so thinking about the problem is one thing, but executing is another different ball game, right? And especially considering something like yours, which needs some expertise as well to generate that milk. You cannot just go to your kitchen and start extracting milk out of oats. So there would be a process behind it. So was it you who got it, or you got some individuals from outside? How did you structure the team?
Yeah, so I think it's been a collaborative effort. I think first was the ideation phase, and then how do we get this product right? Because we didn't want to be just another company. We actually we are like quite proud to say we are the most tasty plant-based milk option on the market today. I would say it, but I think not just us. We've been hearing this from our consumers, from a lot of Horeca channels. We're working with cafes, hotels, like Oberoi has signed up with us for Pan India. We're supplying to St. Regis, Marriott Properties, and they've been using plant-based milk. But I think it's been sort of easy for us to get in because of the taste profile. It blends really well, and so like we have a team in-house who has been working on the product innovation. So we have put the product together and taken some trials in India and abroad. And finally, the output has come out really well. I think we have used a lot of ingredients, like, say, for example, our oats are organic in nature. We import it from Finland. And similarly, our oat, almond paste also is going to be imported from other countries. So we don't want to be compromising on taste. That's been our key focus. As I've been saying, we want to make sure our product is the most delicious options on the shelf.
Just playing a devil's advocate. So India, we know that we are a milk consuming nation, and we just don't consume milk in its purest form, but we make different varieties of it, right? So sweets is one, then chai and coffee is definitely one, then ghee, then so many other things, paneer. So all that stuff also goes along with milk. So when you talk to a normal Indian consumer, he would say, I just don't drink milk, I use it in so many different variants. So what do you have to say about that? Can plant-based milk look into those segments? How will that evolution happen?
You've already started seeing it. A lot of plant-based options are coming, be it pastries, be it sweets. A lot of options are currently available. It's only going to expand from here. It's a early stage. We are a small industry today, nowhere in comparison to dairy. Dairy is a $140 billion industry. Plant-based milk is not even it's close to about $20 million as a market. So, there's no comparison. And honestly speaking, I think both the industries are going to coexist. We are not against dairy industry, or they have to coexist, because see, one reason I think all of us need to understand that 60% of our population is lactose intolerant. So that's a big issue for them. Those people, that segment of audience, anyways, cannot digest milk, so they have to look at alternate options. So therefore we exist, and people. Plant-based milk today is still an expensive option. Unfortunately, I think that's because the volumes are so small, and it will change, but it's going to take a time, and it will coexist. People will still milk in its full form. It's still a healthy product, although as I said, the antibiotics or the feeds which are given in, that makes it not so good at what it used to be. But I think honestly, I think both the industries will coexist. I think that's what is happening globally. I think people who prefer dairy, I think might not be easy for them to switch, but once somebody becomes conscious about the environment, if they want to do their bit to reduce their carbon footprint, moving is an easy choice. Somebody wants to look at the health and have avoid animal products, then of course plant-based milk is an option. So I think that's where it is. I think the industry is going to evolve. It's just the start. The products are only going to get better and better and better, as we grow, because I think things have just started in India. I think although there have been companies who've been having these as an option, but a lot of traction is coming in this space in the last 2 years, where plant-based cheese, plant-based yogurts, even chaach, lassi, and whatnot. So there are some amazing brands working on some cool ideas.
Absolutely, yes. So very right. And you very rightly put, it is not a competition with the milk industry. It is mutually, we have to coexist as a solution, because there are positives there, as farming communities which are involved. So a lot of jobs are there in that industry. So we have to exist, together. So that's the idea. So
we are solving an important issue, I think, which many people have to acknowledge it. Climate change is a bigger issue which we are trying to solve. Animal cruelty is an issue, which we can't ignore. And health, right? I think, as I said, 60% of our population is lactose intolerant. So, we are addressing a problem which exists in today's world. So as you rightly said, I think both the industries are going to go hand in hand, and leave it to the consumers to make a choice. Yeah.
Cool. So my next question is also on that. I mean, we have seen in West, there is a company called Oatly, which makes oats milk, which has grown, I mean, like huge, right? I think they are listed also entity now. So how do you see Indian market evolving, especially in the plant-based milk segment? Because we are seeing a lot of traction on the meat segment, plant-based meat segment, but I think the milk segment is still very, very, very small. So how do you see this market evolving in India?
Yeah, the whole there are quite a few players already. If you see all the good and all the big brands like Raw Pressery, SoFit, Epigamia, So Good, and there are so many imported brands. So for a small pie, there are like a lot of companies already in it. So which is quite healthy. And this is going to grow. This industry is going to grow, but it is going to be competitive because there are a lot of big players already in this space eyeing for their share. I think we are also trying to get our own, build our own community of audience. But I think it's going to grow, right? I think as I said, the numbers which I shared, they're like like chalk and cheese. So absolutely, I think over the time, as the consumer gets concerned about climate change and their the other personal health issues, I think they are going to make the switch sooner or later. And I would just like to add, dairy or non-dairy. I keep sharing this to people how I interact, that I think humans don't need milk of any form. They don't need oat milk. They don't need coconut milk. They don't need dairy milk. It's just we've got habitual to having products, using milk as an ingredient into a lot of products. That's why I think this industry exists. Otherwise, you can live an absolutely healthy life, get your calcium for a lot of other sources. Our products are fortified again with calciums and so many minerals. I say it, I think we don't need these products. I think although it's a healthier option, it's a healthier alternative, have it. I think if you're, if you want to make a switch, because many of our Indian households, dairy is so deeply entrenched in our culture, right? I think everything around, there's ghee, there's paneer, even in my house. So, but I think none of that is required for a healthy lifestyle.
So one thing which I want to speak about is the affordability. So whether it is meat or the milk segment, I mean, affordability is something which is like a detriment to a lot of us of adopting this healthy lifestyle or a healthier lifestyle. So how do you see this piece coming down? Whether when we reach economies of scale, that time it will come down, or when that will happen, so that it becomes a mass movement. It becomes like a lot of middle class and I mean people who can afford. So what is your opinion?
As I said, it's all going to be dependent on how the industry is able to scale up. Right now, as I said, the volumes are quite small. The consumers is again a very niche consumer who's having this kind of product, and it's coming at a expensive price point. But this, it happens in any other industry, right? I think once the the offtake is so low, the prices are expensive. As the volume grows up, the economies of scale, and a lot of people will start manufacturing themselves. So our idea as well is to in future to cut down the price as much as possible to make it affordable, so that consumers who have health issues, who are environmentally conscious, they don't have to think twice that, I mean, although I want to make a switch, but it's not for me. And all of these products can be made at home, oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk. Although, we offer convenience, we offer, taste profile, and all of that is much superior. But nothing like making your own plant-based milk at home. It's fresh, ready to, you can make it as and when you require. So yeah, I think best is to have homemade plant-based milk.
Absolutely, but most of us are not able to do it, and that's why we need.
I know.
Yeah, so that's why, I mean, we need to coexist, like people like you and people who do stuff in their homes, right? So good, but good that you are so honest about it and telling it, yeah, people can make it at home, and so very right. I mean, anything can be done at home. So where is your production unit, Kunal?
So currently we have a partnership with companies in Thailand who are manufacturing. I think there's a one of the reasons why we went there is for the packaging. I think we wanted to have our packaging we wanted to have like a pack which will really should be in a shelf. It'll stand out. So we have gone for a Tetra Prisma pack. So in India there's no Prisma pack facility. There are a couple in Sri Lanka, Thailand. So we went abroad to get these manufactured. But yeah, I think as of now we are sourcing our products from Thailand.
So your packaging UI is very it's excellent. I mean, you could see birds and a lot of animals on that packaging. So from where did you get that idea? I think you told that you were from packaging industry. So was that a trigger to get all those nice stuff there?
So honestly, if you see the brand name Only Earth, we wanted to, with our products, with everything, we wanted to really bring in awareness, as we spoke at the beginning, on what's happening on Earth. If you see today, climate change, we see it every other day in the news. It's becoming the forest fires, or the ice caps are melting, and the number of cyclones which are I live in Chennai, so the number of storms which we used to have, those are gone up. The rain cycle has been disrupted. So we wanted to bring this awareness. If you see, we quite strongly mentioned it on our pack that why one needs to move to a plant-based diet. It's for the world, for the environment, for the animals, and one of the key aspects of our packaging is endangered species.
Yeah.
So every pack that we launch is going to have a unique endangered animal on it, which is under threat, which is in brink of extinction. So currently we have rhino on our oat milk. There's orangutan on the coconut one, and red panda on the almond one. So along with the pictures, we also show a fact because we want to build an awareness before they are gone. These animals might not exist in another few decades if we are really not aware of how our habits are linked to their decline. So these are amazing creatures. Why would we want to lose them? They've existed on Earth for ever since we've been around, or maybe even longer. So we just want to build that awareness while we sell our product. I think that's what we're doing. I think even today morning we were having discussion on this. We are populating the list of endangered species so that we don't want to have the same animals being repeated, because there are so many endangered species. I think so many of them are already extinct or on brink of extinction. So we want to show the plight of their situation through our packaging and the communication on social media.
Very beautiful, very innovative, and colors also. I love the colors of your packaging. But I wanted to ask, because you said it is Thailand, but do you think that in future you want to bring it in India so that you can reduce your costs or reduce logistics and all that?
Possibly. I think once the, as I said, once the volumes really justify, maybe we would consider for Indian market, maybe we would, as I said, we're going to be launching our products in multiple other countries. So we would continue our partnership with the suppliers for the other countries, but maybe for India, we would localize it, because we are our company, Naturize Consumer, is headquartered in Singapore. For the same reason, we want to be an international brand. And I wanted to just highlight on our packaging as well, since you said the colors. Yeah. Currently, if you see the colors, each of the color is again linked to an initiative. The oat milk pack is linked to a wildlife initiative. We are tied up with an organization in Bangalore, which is into wildlife rescue of animals. Right. We are funding to an extent, and also what we are also doing is we are we are launching a D2C site in a month's time, and there a consumer will have a choice. Say at the checkout, there will be a pop-up saying that do you want to adopt a leopard or do you want to feed animals? So we are making a consumers walk the talk as well while we do it. So continuing on our packaging. So the green one is for the Afforestation Initiative. We plan to we put it on a packaging as well. We are planting about 1 lakh trees in the next 5 years. We are also in a process to acquire a drone technology from a foreign company where we want to do it ourselves at large scale. 1 lakh, as many trees you do, they are not enough, right? I think because we are wiping out so many. So we're using drones. I think we want to plant mangroves. We want to plant, get our forests back, the lost forest. And finally, the third initiative on elements, the pack, I think the blue color pack you see is for ocean conservation. So we have completed a project last year with an organization in Maldives for coral rehabilitation. So we have planted close to about 1,600 corals underwater. These are artificial coral frames because 50% of our corals are already gone because of global warming. Another 50% are going to be wiped out. So corals are as important as forest. If everything goes out, then the whole marine ecosystem is going to get affected. And oceans, again, majority of our oxygen as well comes from ocean. So if oceans are not there, I think humans won't survive after a point. There are already so many dead zones. So again, we have touched all three environmental aspects which we need to conserve. So we are Earth Day is coming. I think it's on 22nd. There's the Environment Day as well coming. So we are launching a beach cleanup project in various cities. Then we are also doing something in the schools. We want to build an awareness among kids on how they can contribute back. Small changes. Either do plant a tree. Because I think. More than expecting a government to do it, I think us citizens, we have to make small changes to make a larger impact. I think that's when the whole thing will get amplified.
Absolutely. I mean, amazing. I mean, really brilliant, Kunal, that you have taken up such a big cause and you are doing it to such a massive level. So awesome. So in nutshell, it is like green is for trees, blue is for ocean and seas, and orange is for the animals, right?
Wildlife, yeah. Wildlife, I think land, wildlife, animals, yes.
Awesome. Very good. Brilliant. Yeah. So I mean, you have touched upon it, but is that the reason why you named the company name or product name as the Only Earth? What was that?
Yeah, Only Earth is, again, just to signify this is the only planet. If you see for example, the American diet is the most, I think they have the highest carbon footprint. And as our countries are getting richer and where people are moving out of poverty globally, meat is increasingly is like people aspire to eat meat. So we wanted to highlight it that if somebody wants to have a typical American sort of diet where there's so much red meat involved, we would need at least 7 more planets to accommodate. We don't have that many resources. Already 80% of our farmland is for the animals, I think not for even for humans. So I mean the name itself should signify that we are in trouble, and I think we need each of you to get involved to resolve these issues which we are responsible for.
Well, I mean, we could have spoken about each of these segments in detail, but we cannot give so much of time, so we have to keep it short. So yeah, my final few questions. So are you looking for funding, or are you managing everything in-house, bootstrapped?
So we have been managing so far. I think we've been managing. The funds have been from the family, from the group. So far, I think we've been able to scale up to the levels we are. But I think going forward, we definitely would require growth capital because I think we want to really expand as quickly as possible in India and other countries. So we would be going out for external funding.
So if you can elaborate, I mean, if you can, on the numbers, what is the traction you are seeing, month-on-month growth, and numbers of units?
So I think we've been our quarterly growth has been 100% plus. We've been growing quite aggressively, and we are the revenues. Just to give you an approximate figure, I think we're doing under 40 lakhs monthly revenues from Pan India. I think we are there in almost 24 cities in retail, on 16 plus e-commerce platforms. Horeca is an important channel as well.
Right.
So yeah, I think as I said, we are quite ambitious. We're quite aggressive in this whole space. We want to be the leaders in this category along with other amazing companies. So yeah, I think this is just a start. I think we feel we've got the right foundation, but I think we've got quite an ambitious goal for ourselves from Indian market and from the countries around.
Cool. So if somebody wants to buy the product in India, at least now, so they can do it through the retail outlet, through your online channel as well, and through Horeca, right? So yeah,
absolutely. And the D2C side also will be launched by end of this month. So I mean, we are an omni-channel brand. I think we're there all across, and the retail heavy. I think we are 60 to 70% of our revenues are coming from retail, and the rest from e-commerce and other platforms.
Cool. And so what is your future plan? Are you going to stick with beverage or going to expand into meat and other food item as well?
We're going to, I mean, eventually, we want to, basically our vision is to take animals out of, the food equation. So currently we'll focus on, dairy alternatives because this itself, there's a lot of work to do. Meat is still, I think I would say quite nascent in India, although it's growing and it's quite an exciting industry. But I think we are not going to look at it for a couple of years at least.
Okay. So as of now, you are into coconut, almond and oats. So
yeah.
Soy and cashew and all that stuff also you are planning, or?
It's in pipeline. I think we are working on the product development. I think once we feel we have a right product, I think we would launch that as well.
Good. All the best for that. So my final question, Kunal, is for you. What is your personal connect with nature and environment? Leave everything, leave your company, just your personal connect.
So I spend a lot of time in nature. For example, I think I had a 2-hour, I'm into sports. I had a 2-hour, I was alone. I think I had a 2-hour ride today, and I spent 2 to 3 hours out in nature. I'm an outdoor person in general, and I get concerned about the status of the environment around. Most of our cities are polluted. The pollution levels are so high. So I really want to see it, get back to where it was, where people can live a healthy lifestyle, can breathe pure air, have clean water, and eat clean food, with as less contamination as possible. So yeah, I think we've got our country is amazing, right? I think we've got all terrains, so many different set of. We've got Himalayas on one side, we've got desert, we've got the beautiful coast on the south. So and a lot of eco-sensitive zones as well. So many national parks. So I really hope, I think we'll be able to preserve this for the future generations because they truly deserve it. We've like an amazing country and land. So I really wish, I think all of us can do something in our own way to protect this and to improve from here, I think, and not and go in the other direction where the pollution levels go worse from here. I think I wouldn't want to see a situation like that.
Wonderful. And I would conclude by saying, because we have the only earth. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Kunal. It was a wonderful conversation.
Likewise, Varun. Thank you. It was great chatting with you. So thanks for this.